the cinematography, the look, it was good, felt modern, but also spooky and scary and dark. You know, you had your dark places as you need in that. So no complaints there. What's up, everyone? Thanks again for checking out Real Talker. We got a review. Okay, so we're in spooky season, Halloween season, seeing a lot of scary movies. So the one that's highly anticipated is Pray for the Devil. And I like the name of it, Pray, Prey, but you know, you can think of praying. Clever, catchy name. So is the movie clever and catchy? Well, we'll delve into it right now.
The citadel has fallen. Black smoke blots out the sun. Because as some of you may already know, we have a female student in the class, only as an observer. So, let's descend into the mouth of hell, shall we?
There are more possessions reported today than at any other time in history.
So we must fight for every soul.
Okay, so what is this movie about? We've seen the ads. It's an exorcism kind of movie. We've seen that in trailers. It's pretty apparent. You know, it's a Lionsgate movie. So what are we getting here with Pray for the Devil? So the story centers around Sister Anne, played by Jacqueline Byars. She believes she has a calling to be the first female exorcist. Okay, so that's not been done. That's something that it's always male priests and that are exorcists. But she believes in her heart that she's the first female that's ready and that has to find a way to do it. But what's her calling to do it? There's a mystery wrapped up around that. So we kind of get introduced in a movie about her kind of being in the covenant, or what is that kind of called? I'm actually Coventry. I don't know. I'm probably just completely butchering this, what it's called, but she's kind of studying to be a nurse. Yeah, not a nurse. Well, actually, no, I take that back. She is a nurse. She's a nun, but she's taking care of so actually I was right with that. She's taking care of patients in kind of the hospital and patients soon that she starts noticing that have potential demonic possession about them. So she seeks out this school that's reopened by the Catholic Church, a place where exorcisms are taking place, right? So it's kind of like a university. She got a professor that's played by Colin Salmon or Salmon, one or the other. Colin, apologies to you. And he kind of sees something in Sister Anne here. He sees potential, even though there's no female exorcist, but he sees her drive and passion and sees that special thing in her. So kind of wants to give her a shot to somehow at least sit in on the classes when they're doing the exorcism classes, and then sessions that he's teaching her to get kind of familiar with what's going on, but without actually practicing it. But he does agree to kind of train her. So in that way, she gets what she's looking for. She develops a friendship with Father Dante. Christian Navarro is playing Father Dante. And one thing she connects to is this young girl. So there's a young girl there that is getting treatment, and Jacqueline Byars' character is connected to her. Just sort of a natural bonding sort of thing. Her name is Natalie, and something draws Jacqueline's character, Sister Anne, to Natalie. So that's the big kind of question of the film. Why is she drawn to Natalie? And what about her is making Sister Anne kind of really pay close attention to Natalie, and Natalie's a young girl. And then we learned the connection that there might be. I'm not going to give away spoilers on this one, but there's an interesting, very interesting twist to the connection between Sister Anne and Natalie there. So that's something to look out for, and that's going to unravel as the movie goes on. Now, how are the actors? So Jacqueline Byars plays Sister Anne. She is phenomenal. And I mean, this role was really made for her. There's just some actors are just perfect for a role. She nails this, and she's absolutely perfect for the role. And Jacqueline Byars has been on my radar sort of as an actress that I'm familiar seeing. She was in the show Timeless, Salvation. So she's been around and done work. But I think this is the breakout kind of performance for her. This is the breakout role that'll really get her on a lot of different shows and movies going forward. So this is a name of an actor you should be paying close attention to. Virginia Madsen plays Dr. Peters, who's kind of the therapist, psychologist that Sister Anne goes a lot to and kind of confides in. It's cool to see Virginia Madsen. She's got her history at horror also, The Haunting in Connecticut, of course, the original Candyman. So it's nice to see Virginia Madsen sort of back in the genre and still doing it. Colin Salmon, or Salmon, whichever way Colin likes to be pronounced. He's Father Quinn. He's the one that's kind of in charge and takes a liking to Sister Anne. He's really good in his role too as a professor. I feel like just played a very, very kind of leadership role, and he conveys it nicely. Someone who would be a professor, he kind of, you're dealing with students and all that. So he did. Christian Navarro is a good actor too, and I liked him in this role as Father Dante, who is friends with Sister Anne. And the way they bond together, they kind of help each other out. So you could see that friendship brewing, and it's cool how they confide in each other. And he kind of takes her in because she's the only girl in the class. So good work by him. Overall, no complaints. I think really well cast. Mostly a pretty unknown, younger cast. And that's what I kind of liked about this film too. You got the veteran Virginia Madsen there and some of a few other actors. But it's mainly a young sort of cast. And it's cool because it's a nice mix for a film like that to have sort of the young blood and some of the veterans too. The film was directed by Daniel Stam. I have a personal connection to Daniel Stam in a sense. I might be biased, but he was my first ever interview I did in this industry. So we're talking about 8 years ago. First ever interview. I had no idea what I was doing. And I was tasked at the time of having a phone interview with Daniel Stam, who had done a movie called 13 Sins. It was, wow, hundreds of interviews later, he was my first interview, and it really gave me confidence about doing this. And he was such a great guy to talk to. So Daniel Stam always will have a special place for me because he kind of impacted my career, gave me confidence about being able to do this. So always will be rooting for him. He's directed a lot of TV shows, but he hasn't done much in terms of film since 13 Sins, and which was 8 years ago, and The Last Exorcism. He also directed that. So he has the background in these exorcist movies. So he's done The Last Exorcism. So this seemed kind of natural. Really good choice. I'm really hoping to see more of Daniel again. He's a really clever, good director. If you've seen 13 Sins or Last Exorcism, you know what he's capable of. So really cool guy. I'm just happy for his success. And the screenplay was written by Robert Zappia, and I liked it because he has such a modern touch to this. You see, now I'm going to delve into the things I really liked about the takeaways of this film. unlike a lot of exorcist themed movies, this one is very modern, kind of progressive. The character of Sister Anne is progressive, right? And she's a modern kind of young lady of today's day and age. It's not, a lot of these exorcism movies are kind of feel like they're in the Stone Ages, right? Like even though there's in present time, but it feels like it could have been done like 50, 60 years ago, because it's always like in the middle of nowhere and some like, rural town. And, it just the house looks like it's 500 years old that this is happening in, or happening in a barn or something. But this is a modern sort of, that is, it takes place in Massachusetts, and everything about it is a modern world. Even the hospitals they're in there, that they see these sort of patients and these potential cases for exorcism. They're in these rooms basically that you get access to with a key card, and it's just kind of modern. It looks modern, and I like that about this film, because we are in 2022, and it makes you believe that exorcism's still happening now, and these cases are happening now, not it's something that's taken from the past. So I like the modern aspect that Robert Zappia and Daniel stamped on this film. It just feels current and kind of progressive, and I like how Jacqueline played the Sister Anne character, very sort of flawed, but a modern woman with modern problems, and also has trauma of her own. So it's a relatable character, I felt like, and a relatable person in a film of that ilk. And there's an investigative sort of side of this, like it's a little bit of a investigative suspense sort of movie. But unlike others where you have like the policeman or someone from the outside investigating it, it's all done by these characters that you're seeing, by these young priests and nuns, by Jacqueline's character, by Christian's character, Nicholas Ralph's character. They're kind of investigating, especially Sister Anne. She's going through the archives, she's looking through the cases, she's figuring things out. I like that because it's kept in house in a sense. You're not going to the outsider having to deal with, and it kind of splits movie into two different things. Here, they're figuring out as they go. They're young, they're learning this whole thing about exorcism, and just even being a nun, being a priest, and so it's like we're kind of like a fly on a wall going with them, trying to figure out these cases and learning as they go, because they don't have all the answers. They're young. They rely on the helps of the higher priests and professors and cardinal. That's what I kind of enjoyed, that aspect of it too. So it was good in that as I thought the sense of reality and modernizing this genre was really good. So kudos to them for doing that. It actually, the film really exceeded my expectations. Did negative things about it, I don't know. I can't really pluck away. I've been liking a lot of these horror films that have been coming out. They've been really well done. Smile, Barbarian for the most part. This movie, it's just been a really good month for horror during spooky season, during Halloween season. Some really good choices. Probably the three of the better scary movies of the entire year just came out kind of back to back to back. So definitely it's a movie that is smart. I feel like for an exorcism kind of based movie, it's not that far-fetched. You can believe in certain things like that. It feels sort of too real sometimes. And they don't really go for cheap scares or cheap, kind of jumps, right? I think it's very kind of naturally done here. And when you get a scare, where you get a jump scare, it's because something in the conversation prompts it, not like a setup to make it happen that way. So I thought that was really well done in that aspect. I mean, the negatives, if I'm searching for things or kind of going down a rabbit hole of what could have been, maybe a little bit. I mean, we do get Sister Anne's backstory, but more of maybe her motivation to be this female exorcist, why we kind of get introduced to her, and she's quickly we're noticing that she's really kind of feels like she has a passion or calling for it or something that she should do. But maybe a little bit of a backstory to what brought her to that point would be good. And she's a central character, her and the Natalie character, maybe a little bit more even on the friendship and connection between Father Dante and her. They do kind of almost, they're like thrown together to work on an exorcist case and all that, and they sort of bond that friendship of that, but maybe a little bit more a scene of conversation or something to find out why Dante was accepting of her, from the get-go. Why did he take a liking or interest in befriending her? So just the little things here and there, but overall the cinematography, the look, it was good, felt modern, but also spooky and scary and dark. You had your dark places as you need and that. So no complaints there. Like I said, it was really smartly, I feel, written. So really good work with this. This is one of, honestly, if I'm looking at it, it's one of the better Exorcist themed movies ever. Yeah, I'm going to say that. I think it's a top 5 Exorcist themed movie of all time. And it depends what you want to count. Do you want to count the Conjuring movies in the genre too as an Exorcist sort of movie? Or just plain based on exorcism sort of thing. I mean, this is right up there with the original Exorcist movies. Also something like more recent that's had a lot of acclaim, like The Wailing and The Witch. I think this is right up there. It's a really good Exorcist movie all around, and not much to complain about. And one big takeaway I'll say is from, I mentioned that Jacqueline was kind of made to do this role. She's so good at it that you could put this movie on mute and still understand what her character's going through or what she's thinking. That's how good she emits her emotions. She's got one of the best facials I've seen in a while of any actor. I mean, her facials in this movie are phenomenal. Like you say, you can read her emotion through her face. They're not fake or too much or overdoing anything. They're just right on target, just seamless emoting. Really good job. I can see how they would cast her right away, especially if they did any sort of thing like that in an audition process. We're wanting to see some facial reactions. She just does such a good job of, everyone around her is sort of fearful and not knowing what's going on, but she's got to be the one that's composed and kind of nurturing, but also feeling the fright and obviously the unknown of going into this. She's in a complete deep water when it comes to exorcism and her experience with it and everything. So I love how Jacqueline relayed that she's scared and, doesn't really know, but does this in a great way. Point is, Jacqueline Byars nails it completely. Fantastic work. So this is a movie you should see, no doubt about it. It's freaky, it's well acted, it's got an interesting story. There's some couple major plot twists that one you might see coming, and then the other you probably will see coming after that. But needless to say, some good plot twists along the way too. So check out this film because it's perfect for this sort of season, and the timing of it is great. I'm glad they're releasing it on Halloween weekend in that sense. So Pray for the Devil, high marks from me. Probably an 8 out of 10, 80% on this film. Little to complain about, a lot to like about it, and an intriguing ending too. So they left it with some intrigue and open potential maybe to interpretation. You'll see when you check it out. So make sure to check out Pray for the Devil. Really good stuff. One of the better Exorcist themed movies ever, really. So high marks right here in that aspect. So make sure you subscribe. I can't connect this. So hard. But you know what to do. Subscribe. It helps a lot when you subscribe. definitely keeps going for me, you know, and this way I can do more of this. So subscribe, it makes a difference. Make sure to like if you like this review, give a thumbs up, like, and follow me on social media at the Jim Alexander on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and all social at the Jim Alexander, and also at the Real Talker. So that's also on all social media. One handle to learn for both accounts, and go check it out there for other interviews and reviews and all that good stuff. But yeah, also make sure to comment. I like reading comments, seeing what you guys have to say. If you saw the film, what are you thinking of it? What did you like? What did you not like? If you haven't seen the film, what are you excited about seeing here? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be sure to engage with you on that, especially if you have a question or a comment to me. So I'll be sure to check it out. So until next time, more reviews coming. We are spooky season, full-fledged, a lot of good stuff. So go out to the theaters and check out these new horror films that are coming out, really good ones. And Pray for the Devil is definitely one of them. Until next time, I am out. I tried to do like a crazy exorcism head thing. I'm not going to even try. See ya.